Today is a football Sunday here in Pittsburgh, but we're in the gym and we're setting big PRs. So I started off with a seated press, 225 for 4. Now I've been cranking away at 225 for a while now. And I can safely say that this is probably the strongest my shoulders or my overhead pressing in general has ever been. Compared to when I was about 20 pounds heavier, I'm a svelte 200 pounds. And I got 225 for 4, and this is 185 for 10. So those are matching basically my all-time best numbers on an overhead press, and I'm doing it at a lighter body weight. So pretty soon I'm hoping to surpass even my all-time best regardless of body weight, and that's going to be a tremendous thing, in my opinion. And moving on, I did the Icarian machine side raise. This was the stack for 15, which is a PR. These get pretty difficult to try to, sometimes these kind of bother my shoulders a little, so I was, a little hesitant to use it. But today, warmed up pretty good. Everything seemed to be feeling pretty good, wasn't clicking. Just trying to get those pads about as high as I can, really. I mean, when you do that, you get a lot of trap involvement too, which I'm not gonna complain about. And this is the second set, and I just dropped it down one plate, so this was 90 and I got 16, which was a PR. Not a big one, but I just got one more rep out of it than I have in the past. And I've talked about this. Actually, I haven't talked about it. I just wrote it down. But my gym is under new ownership. And if anyone is in the Pittsburgh area, you'll know the name Matt Mertz of Matt Mertz's Plumbing. And he and his wife bought the gym I go to, which is Body Tech in the North Hills. So they're actually making it a powerhouse gym. So it's going to be, from what my understanding, it's going to be Powerhouse Gym Pittsburgh. So, when you see the bodybuilders like Kai Green, they work out at the Bev Francis Powerhouse, wherever that is, it's New York or New Jersey or something. That's going to be this, and it's going to be in Pittsburgh, and they've already brought in a lot of awesome equipment. And this is actually one of the pieces right here. We have a couple of cable stations, but the problem with them is that you can't adjust the height, so you can either go all the way from the top or all the way from the bottom. And so this Cybex machine, as you can see, you can adjust it accordingly, which is really great because sometimes you want to change the angle and you can kind of bias it depending on what the exercise is. Now this is actually for rear delts, and I think, you don't, if you want to do a rear delt with a cable, a lot of times people try to keep it in line with your torso, with your arms parallel to the floor. You really don't have to do that. You can do this, kind of straight arm it, try to get a bit of a stretch on your rear delts, and you can kind of just pull it to the side, and you're gonna get an awesome pump. And you don't need a lot of weight. This first set, because I'm just throwing these back in, so these were 15s per side, and I got 20, and the pump was great. The whole shoulder really was blown up. And then on the next set that I do, it was 20 pounds per side for 15. And generally, I like to try to make the first set the heavier set if I can. But when you're throwing in a movement that you haven't done and you're kind of unfamiliar with the machine, you don't exactly know where your limits are. It's not uncommon for me to do an all-out set and then bump up the weight a little bit. And especially with something like this, because you're not going to use a lot of weight anyways. So if you put on 5 more pounds, it doesn't really matter. You're still getting in the work that you need to be doing. So 6 total sets for shoulders. I like to do 2 presses, or 2 pressing sets, I should say. Occasionally I'll do 3, but I've been having a lot of success with 2, so I'm sticking with that. Generally 2 sets for some sort of side raise, and then 2 sets for a rear delt movement, whether it's a fly or something on the cables. If I could condense that into a few, 5 sets or less, I would, but I feel like with shoulders, you need to pay attention to the heads a little bit more individually. And moving on to Paramount overhead extensions, I've been cranking away at this machine for, I don't know how long it's been. It's been at least a month consistently, at least twice a week. And I've pretty much maxed this thing out. I mean, I might be able to, if you see where the 25s are on the opposite side of that, I'll probably end up doing that. I'll probably end up sticking the 25s on there instead of the 45. That way I can get as much as I can out of the machine. I don't think I'm going to be able to get any more than 325s per side on it, and that would be an awesome thing if I can. But this was 120 plus a stack for 10 good hard reps. And then the next set, I just went with the regular stack, which is like so light at this point. My PR on this was 30 reps, and I figure I should easily be able to beat that, and I did. I ended up getting 32 out of this.
Never once.
Moving on, I did the seated dip machine, 3 plates per side for 10, nothing too crazy. It's really hard to stay in this machine because it wants to pull you out of it, but you gotta just stay tight and try to crank them out as best you can. Ideally, I would try to keep my torso more upright, but I really can't stay in it securely. I have a little bit, so a lot of it is more pec and tricep than I'd like. I'd like it to be more just regular tricep, but I'm not gonna make a big deal about that. And finally, doing some football bar pressing, because this is a new bar in the gym and it's a new bench, so I figured I'd give it a go. And this got heavy really quick, 225 for barely getting 6 here, which I was hoping to get a little bit more, but if you're not used to the football bar, it really wants to kind of slide out of your hand, so something I'm just gonna have to work on, kind of crank away at it. But overall, my pressing is doing really well. I'm really happy with it. Doing some flat benching again, some declines, some chest, and in general, the pressing, and then just cranking away at the overhead. So, yep, that's about it. Thanks for watching.